जिस शिद्दत से मैंने तुम्हें पाने की कोशिश की, हर ज़र्रे ने मुझे तुमसे मिलाने की साजिश की. That's been my motto while I have been trying to pursue into this field. Like being a teacher, I had wanted to be a teacher while I was 8 years old. But then before that, I had wanted to be a gynecologist, of course. And then later on, I wanted to be a psychologist. But then being in interval actually helped me to attain to that goal because I never expected that I could be a teacher and I could actually be influential to kids. Hey there, so I'm Nedha M and I'm pursuing BHMS right now. As well, I'm a tutor in interval for almost a year. So how it all started, if you're asking me how it all started, is that while I was studying in 12th, we have the group study, we have got combined studies, right? There wasn't so much of potential for tuition actually. So at that time, I used to just talk to them, I used to explain, I used to just take a complete crash because I wanted them to pass along with me because I can't just leave them astray, right? They were such good friends of mine, and at the end, like they used to ask me doubts as well in between class, like what is this, what's going on, and what does this mean as well. So I just explained it's completely easy because English was well versed for me. And in that manner, like later on, they started saying that, Nada, you should actually go for counseling, or maybe you should actually be a teacher. So I said, oh my God, that would definitely take a lot of time, right? So growing up, I was always asked that what do you want to be when you grow up, or what is your intention actually? So I was like, yeah, I should be serving the society as well. So I did not know how much measures were there, how many measures were there in the manner that you could serve the society. So in my mind, it was always like, yeah, you should be a doctor so that there is no immense pleasure that we receive when we do anything else other than treating the ill, right? So, and then later on, I had in my mind, maybe in future, I could be a lecturer as well. So, but then the field of lecturer, being a lecturer is that I have to complete my degree, which is 5.5 years, and then I have to go and take MD, and then I have to write exams, and then I'll get a posting as a lecturer. That's like a long way ahead. But then because of interval, actually, I could get that premature happiness, the premature happiness, because I am a teacher now, and I get such feedbacks from the students and their parents that I'm so happy, like, oh, I could just do this in this age. Because right now I'm in my 20s and I could attain something which is way more better because I'm serving the society right now as well. So now I would like to actually share an experience of mine with a student. That is my first student. His name is Zaman and he's from Kasargod. So he used to not know English at all, okay? Like he was a very good student in every other subject, but then English pronunciation and English language, as in to speak or read, it was difficult for him entirely. So I started teaching him from the sounds, from the basic sounds. He used to just reply me with yes, a lot of yes. And then later on, by the middle of the class, like by the middle of the sections, there are 20 sections, right? His mother responded saying that he now tries to read the books because first he used to not read at all. Now he's taking the books and he's handling them. So I was like, wow, that's such a good improvement. And then later on, I was like, in one of my classes, he said me that he's been seeing, he read something, he said something like that. I was confused. I thought he's going to share some experience of school of him. And then I asked him, what are you saying? What are you saying? Just tell me once again. And then later on, he told me that in PT period and his free periods, he reads a book. So I said, which book? He had told me before that he loved Max. So I thought he's praising about his Max teacher. So he's saying that tuition's books he's reading because I'm teaching, whatever I'm teaching, that's written in the tuition book, right? He takes my tuition notebook, which I've prepared, which I prepare for him, which I make him write, and he takes that to the school in the backpack, in the PT period or in the free period. He takes them out, he reads it in the class. I was like, wow, that's such a great thing to hear from a student because he's dedicated, he's completely dedicated. He wants him to improve because I'm trying hard as well as he's trying. So I was like so thankful to God because I had tears in my eyes. So I had another experience from a kid named Luca. He's from America. So I listened to him. He wants me to listen. It's not about studies, but then it speaks about his personal things and his personal ambitions as well. So he used to tell me that he wants to become a carpenter or a construction worker because he has seen his father doing it. In that manner, he asked me like, what am I studying and what am I intending to be? He's just 7 years old, okay? Maybe 6 to 8. So at that moment, I told that I'm pursuing medicine and I would love to treat people. One day he asked me that pursuing medicine, is it going to be worth it? I was like, oh my god, because this kid is so kid, so small, and he's asking me whether it is worth it to pursue medicine. So I said, definitely yes, even though it takes a lot of time and hard works and maybe a lot of traumas as well. You, at the end of the day, when you are in life, when you're ahead in life, you get to treat the people. After a couple of days, he starts saying me about his sonic characters, and he just wants me to listen to him in between studies. At that moment, like after a couple of days, his mother had contacted me. She was mentioning me that there is improvement in his mathematics, and then she mentioned a tiny detail that is now he has changed his motto in life, and he wanted to become a medical student. I mean, he wanted to pursue medicine. So I was like, wow, I just really did influence that kid. Because he, at the end of the day, he's saying his mother that, yeah, you get to treat people, you get to take care of the people, and that would be so great, right? And in that manner, he's already brilliant. I'm sure he would be way ahead in his life. So there are a lot of different types of kids in the society, right? You know, some kids are like very shy. Some of them are very expressive. Some of them are extrovert. Some of them are introvert. But actually, what they need is an individual tuition or maybe an individual attention. If you're asking me, they really need an individual attention. So here, the thing is that when they are not as expressive as they could be in a society where there is a classroom filled with 40 to 50 members, it is better when we interact alone with a kid, because they would be actually easily be able to ask us about the doubts, or maybe they could express why in this manner. They could even suggest us the teaching methods, or maybe they would just suggest their method of learning. In that manner, when we get a student all alone, when we give them a complete attention, they are kind of actually disciplined enough. I'm very glad that I'm part of Interval, because it actually helps me to grow in the society as a person. It just develops me as a person. And one of the benefits that I found in Interval is that by the end, if I want to resign, I would actually receive a certificate of my experience. So that's going to be real helpful if I am going for a more teaching job, faculty. So now I would like to conclude by saying that a genius without education is like a silver in the mine. A mine is there, you don't know what's going on inside the mine. There might be diamonds, there might be gold, there might be silver, but then you need to exploit the mine to find the diamonds, right? The same way, you are not giving a proper education, you are not giving a proper discipline to a kid who might be a genius, you wouldn't be able to find its complete potential. So with that, I'd like to conclude by saying thank you to Team Interval. Thank you so much.